Welcome back, everyone. Today I have another Chris Reeves knife, and it is the Umnumzaan. A lot of people refer to this as the Zaan in the knife community. There you go. I will leave links for the manufacturer website and any relevant information in the description. So, my personal use, literally right before this review, I ate a steak and cut it up with it. I also did some food prep, slicing up some mushrooms. I would say this isn't the best knife for slicing up mushrooms. It does have a hollow grind on it, but it's not, it's thick behind the edge when you get to the top, so you are gonna end up breaking off whatever you're slicing. As you'll notice in my thumbnail, that's exactly what I did prior to this review. I haven't yet used it for too much else, to be honest. And it is easy to maintain, just like other Chris Reeve knives. It runs on washers, phosphor bronze. I wouldn't consider this fidgety, only because, yeah, that's really not what it's meant for. You can flick it out with a thumb stud, but I prefer to roll my Chris Reeves. Personal preference. Let's take a look at some measurements. All right. From tip of the blade to the bottom of the handle, we're looking about 8¼ inches. Cutting edge is about a little under 3½, and another 1/4 of an inch to match the blade. The handle, we're looking at about 4½, slightly above. Let's take a look at the weight. Just shy of 5 ounces. Now let's talk about the blade. So again, this is a hollow grind, and what that does is it helps thin out the thickness behind the edge right here. It's got a Tanto shape, as you can tell, so it allows for more easier piercing because it's reinforced behind the tip right here. It does slice well, but again, if you're looking for precision cuts from a food prep standpoint, I believe there are better options. But overall, this is definitely a great all-around EDC. Just from frequently visiting blade forums, there's a lot of people who use this for construction, carpentry work. The opening mechanism that we have on this one is just thumb studs, and it's dual thumb studs. Nicely slow rolled. Now, I personally don't use this as a left-hander, but I believe they make a left-handed version of this. I could be wrong, because I know they do make left-handed versions of the other models in the Chris Reeves lineup. That's a thumb stud. Now let's talk about the handle. Handle is 2 slabs of titanium. It uses a frame lock. Again, this is pioneered by Chris Reeves, and it technically is the Reeve integral lock. You just push it out. Interesting sidebar. So I had the model prior to this one. This has the Magnacut, CPM-Magnacut steel blade, but I had the S35 in alternative, and for some reason it was much harder to disengage. I'm not sure if they lightened up the lock bar tension, so it's easier to depress to the side. But this is, in my opinion, much better than the previous model. The ergonomics on this one, it's great if this part of the clip actually comes in between your fingers, your middle and ring finger. Once it comes up between there, you're golden. There's no hot spots in your hand. However, if you grab it in, let's say, a hammer grip, you may be able to feel some of the tip of that pocket clip right here in your hand. I wouldn't call that uncomfortable either way, but you may be able to feel a bit of pressure. And let's talk about the pocket clip. This is a titanium pocket clip. It is not deep carry. Retention is great as with the other models of Chris Reeve knives. Let me show you what this looks like in the pocket. There we go. There is a little bit of room, so it doesn't take up too much real estate inside the pocket. You have a good grasp on it as you're trying to retrieve your knife from the pocket. Again, it's not too stiff on the retention. And let's jump into about availability and price point. So the Umnumzaan has went up in price, as with many other things in all across different industries, such as eggs. This used to be $450, but that was before they came out with the Magnacut blade on this. This is now $500. The availability is scarce. So if you order direct through Chris Reeves, it'll take about 4 to 6 years, from what I've read on multiple forums. However, they do random drops with their authorized online retailers. So this does pop up every so often. So I wouldn't say you would have to wait 4 to 6 years, unless you wanted to order directly from Chris Reeves. My final thoughts on this is that this is an amazing knife. The Umnumzaan is revered as one of the most sought after Chris Reeve knives, because unlike the Sebenza and Inkosi, which I will make a separate review for, there isn't alternative CGC graphics. I'm sorry, CGG, I believe. But it's all really just all titanium. They don't have micarta inlays, no carbon fiber alternate variations. It's very simplistic. It's a great user, and I forgot to call out on the blade actually. This part right here, this is can be used as a glass breaker. I haven't tried it myself, but that's what it's intended for. It's made in Idaho as well, so USA made. This is definitely meant to be a user. I personally think this is a must-have if you end up getting into blades in this price point. They have alternative blade shapes you can get. The only other one that I'm aware of is you can get the blade in a draw point rather than this Tanto. So it really depends on what you're using your knives for on a daily basis. I believe that draw point is more versatile in terms of multiple usage, but the Tanto is a great shape as well. It just, if you end up needing to stab something or pierce anything, the Tanto tip is very strong and reinforced for that reason. All right, this concludes the review for the Umnumzaan. I'm going to throw a couple of other options on there for you to vote on for the next review. I figured we might as well cover another Chris Reeve knives if you're interested, this is the Wilson Combat Chris Reeves Inkosi. This is a large Inkosi. And if you're interested in seeing other South African knife makers, this is the Arno Bernard iMamba. All right, if you've enjoyed it, hit the subscribe to get notified for the next review. Give me a thumbs up. If you have any comments, please leave that so I can continue to try to improve. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a great day. Continue to make good choices. Take care.